Hey, and welcome back to the Hair Lounge. My name is Angelina and I'm a licensed stylist. Today I'm going to teach you how to use your basic curling iron but use it as a curling wand. That way you don't have all those tools taking up all the space on your bathroom counter. Let's get into it. If you enjoy learning about hair, click the subscribe button and the bell to get notified for all my new videos. Don't forget, if you like any of the content that you see today, hit that subscribe button or the like, and please leave me any comments that you have during this tutorial. So before I begin, I did use my Kenra Platinum Dry Shampoo. If you need a tutorial of how to use that specific dry shampoo or how to use dry shampoo in general, click this link and it'll take you there. I already brushed out my hair while I was using the dry shampoo, but I'm gonna take my butterfly clip. Don't forget, I will link every product that I use today down in the description box. That way you know everything you need to achieve this look. I'm going to section my hair, leaving roughly about an inch and a quarter on the very bottom, and pin everything up and out of my face. Normally with a curling iron, I use a bigger size curling iron, but when I'm using a curling iron as a wand, I like to go a size smaller. The reason for this is when you curl your hair with the wand, it has a softer look, and since my hair is a tiny bit shorter since I just recently cut it, I do need a little bit of a tighter curl. That way it stays in my hair. So today I'm going to be using my Marcel Hot Tools curling iron in an inch. This one is a professional style curling iron. That's okay, you can use your basic clip curling iron exactly the same way because we're not going to be opening the actual clamp at all. To begin, I like to do it like any of my beachy wave type of tutorials. Each section I will be curling all the same way. Grabbing roughly about an inch section and taking my curling iron as the wand and wrapping it around the barrel. Again, not opening up the actual barrel at all, just using the barrel on the outside. Holding it for a few seconds, leaving the ends out, and pretty easy. I will continue each section again, all curling it away from my face on this section. Taking my curling iron, wrapping it around the barrel of the actual curling iron, holding the ends out. Just like that. Now we'll move to this side. Again, holding my barrel straight up and down, pretty vertical, curling it away from my face, holding onto those ends so it gives you kind of that beachy look, and pulling it out. One thing you do need to know when you're using a curling iron as kind of a wand, you will be holding it a little bit longer on the actual barrel. For some reason, it just needs a little bit more heat. And now we'll move on to the next section. Again, taking small-ish sections. And then this section, everything that is closest to my face will always, the very kind of front section will always be curled away from my face, but this section will be curled towards my face. So this front section away, but then the rest of it all away from my face. Again, taking my curling iron, holding it vertical, and just wrapping it around the barrel. Holding those ends, leaving them out, so then they're a little bit more on the straight side. Then I do kind of tug on it a little bit, that way it's not super tight. Don't forget, keeping your sections roughly about an inch wide. This section will be now curled towards my face. Now moving on to this side. Again, this section curled away, but the section after that will be curled towards my face. The reason why I do this is because it gives variation in my curls. That way all of my curls are not clumping together, and it gives you more of that beachy look. I do have a tutorial of how to achieve a beachy wave look using just a regular curling iron. So if you want to watch that, you can go ahead and click this link up here and it'll take you to that actual video of how to use a regular curling iron for the beachy waves. We're just gonna continue all the way around my head. Again, don't forget, away from your face on the front sections. This section will now all be away from my face. So while I finish curling my hair, I will give you guys a few tips of things I do and don't do. So kind of towards my hairline, I have all these little baby hairs. Sometimes it's nice to actually have a curling iron that has a clamp, because with the wand, you can't really get super tight in those, kind of where those baby hairs are. So I will take my actual curling iron and just kind of grab them to smooth them into my hair, and then continue it like a wand. Another thing you may be noticing is I am not spraying my hair with hairspray in between each curl or section that I am doing. And the reason for this is because this is second day hair. So I already have hairspray on my hair. So there's no need to spray on there because it's already on there. At the end, I'll just spray everything. I will use my Paul Mitchell Invisible Wear Cloud Whip on it, and that will give me plenty of hold. Another thing is you're noticing I am tugging on it because I don't want it to be super, super tight while it's still warm. Noticing I have alternated on this section, and now all this hair is going towards my face. If you want your curls to be a little bit tighter, take small sections. If you want them to be a little bit looser, take bigger sections. And that is all just preference on how you like your hair. Depends on what you're doing during the day, if you're gonna be outside, how the weather is. If the weather, it's a little more humid, I do like to do smaller sections and have it be a little bit tighter because I know it's just going to loosen up during the day. So that is all up to you on what you want to do. Again, on this section, I'm going to take my actual curling iron, opening the clamp and grabbing all of those little baby hairs and kind of bending my curling iron. That way those will incorporate into my curl. The reason why I'm not using it as a wand again is because it doesn't really grab those little baby hairs. And so doing it with the curling iron does help. And again, just continuing all the way around my head. Again, if you watched my previous Beachy Wave tutorial, I like my very last two sections. I like to do majority of that away from my face until I get towards the back of my crown. Again, getting all those baby hairs incorporated into the curl, using it as a normal curling iron, and now wrapping it around. The reason I like majority of the stuff on the last two sections curled away from my face is I just like the way it looks better. So you definitely don't have to do it this way, but that is totally up to you. One nice thing about this being second day hair, I did curl my hair yesterday, so you can still kind of see some of the curl. So it's just more of a touch up on my curls from yesterday. Okay, now we'll move on to this side. Those hairs are laying down pretty good from yesterday, so I'm just gonna wrap it. Make sure if you are not very coordinated while curling your hair, wear a glove. They have thermal gloves that you can get for this left hand that's not holding the curling iron. That way you're not burning your fingers. You can get them on Amazon. I will link one down below. Even though I'm not using one, I will find one for you guys that you can use and just link that in the description box. Because even though I'm a professional, I do still every once in a while get my fingers. So if you're worried about that, get a glove. Another tip, this section is a little bit bigger. So majority of the time when your sections are larger, you do have to leave it on the barrel a tiny bit longer. So this one, I'll let it sit a little bit longer than those other ones. So let me turn around. That way you guys can kind of see what I'm working with here. How are we looking back there? Hopefully I've curled everything. I'll double check at the end with an actual mirror. And this is my very last section. Get my part the way I want it. Again, I have shorter pieces because of my bangs, so I will take the curling iron, opening the barrel, incorporating those small pieces and just curling them a tiny bit, and then wrap the rest around the barrel. Oh, let's try that again. As you guys are watching me do this, notice I'm not bunching all the hair up on top of itself. I'll show you with this section. I'm taking it and I am wrapping it starting towards the top of my barrel and then working my way down the barrel. The reason I do this is it's going to evenly distribute heat on that hair strand. If you're stacking it on top of other hair, it's not going to curl all of the hair the same. A lot of times that's why people like wands, because the barrel is a little bit longer. So majority of you guys watching, if your hair is, I would say, down to the middle of your back, you're probably not going to be able to use a normal curling iron to curl your hair. Not saying it's not impossible, but it just takes a little bit more effort. You'll probably have to do it in sections. Do, you know, kind of the top section, and then once you get down to the bottom, then do that section separately, which is fine. That way you don't have to go buy a completely separate tool. But I just wanted to make you aware that if your hair is longer, you probably are gonna have to do it in sections. And the same reasoning being because of that hair being on top of itself isn't ideal for even distribution of heat on your actual hair. Now we're on our very last sections. Again, these last few sections, I do like majority of it away from my face. And I think we're pretty good. The ends are a little funky, so we will redo them. There we go. So now we will let our hair cool a little bit before we actually use product. Today I'm going to use my Paul Mitchell Invisible Wear line. It's Cloud Whip. It's a newer product, but I really do like it. It's a good replacement of pomade or wax if you don't like sticky product. So I'm just getting just a tiny bit on my hands, again, putting it on my palm, emulsifying it, and then starting on the underneath. The reason why I like this one is because it's soft. It gives you kind of a weightless hold on your hair. Again, don't forget, I'm not affiliated with any of these products, but I will link them down below. That way you can find them yourselves. So starting underneath, reason being, you don't get a big glob of product on the very top stuff. And just working it all the way through my hair. Focusing on all those little baby hairs towards the front to get all those lying flat. So that is a quick and easy way to not have 100 things sitting on your bathroom counter. That way you can just use your same normal curling iron that you've always had. I hope this helped you guys learn how to use a basic curling iron instead of a wand to get still that soft, fun, beachy look on your hair. Please don't forget, if you have any questions, I love to hear your comments. I try to respond as quickly as possible, and go to all my social media, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. That way we can keep in contact. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the like if you enjoyed watching this video, and don't forget to come back next time. Thanks, and we'll see you then. Bye.